There you go. Thankfully, I'm not in Australia, because this is considered illegal. I mean, of course you can change a light bulb by yourself, but replacing an entire lamp or doing any electrical wiring should be done by an expert for safety reasons. Despite the rumors, you're essentially allowed to do electrical stuff like this, but doing an entire electrical project should be done by a licensed professional in some states of Australia. As you may have already guessed it, we are going to break down weird laws across the world. So strap yourselves in, as we are going to see some illegal stuff. Strip clubs, Iceland. The first country around the globe to ban stripping for feminists rather than religious reasons. In 2010, the Prime Minister of Iceland, Jóhannes passed a law with no voice against that it is illegal for businesses to profit from the nudity of their employees. Saving someone from drowning, China. Why is that? Well, this needs an understanding of the philosophy of a country like China. To save a drowning person is illegal because the Chinese believe in inflexible fate with which you want to live in peace and harmony. Fate is very important to the Chinese culture. It appears cruel, and letting someone drown because it is illegal to save him sounds absurd. But it is true. In China it is really forbidden to save a drowning man. Baby walkers, Canada. Health Canada revealed that 1,900 babies suffered from head injuries. It is also believed that they delay motor development. Since 2004, the government prohibited the manufacturing, selling and distribution of walkers and scooters for children. It turns out that walking too early is dangerous for babies. Minister Pierre Pettigrew said, "The safety of our children always comes first. I'm happy to inform you that Canada is the first country in the world to have prohibited selling walkers." Black cars, Turkmenistan. In this country, there is a common superstition that black-colored things bring bad luck. On the other hand, white color is a symbol of happiness. This is why black cars have been prohibited since 2018. Drivers of black-colored cars were forced to park them to a government lot in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan's capital. They could only retrieve them if their cars were repainted white or silver. Pretty good. Plastic bags, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is considered the world's biggest dumping area of plastic. So in 2002, the government banned all plastic bags, as at that point they had filled entire areas and roads. Since then, South Africa and all the European countries have followed the same policy by making it illegal for grocery stores to provide plastic bags for free. Gum, Singapore. Gums were very popular in Singapore for decades, but as Singapore grew so quickly the last 40 years, population did as well. As a result, the controlling of litter and trash was essential to the Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, who wanted his country to operate in perfection. So sale of the item is prohibited since 1992. Chewing a stick of gum or spitting it out can lead to a steep fine. The ban remains one of the best-known aspects of life in Singapore, along with the country's laws against litter, graffiti, crossing a road blocking traffic, spitting, expelling mucus from the nose, and urinating anywhere but the toilet. Oh, and you're legally forced to flush that toilet. Unisex names, Germany. Names like Leslie, Jamie or Sasha are not that popular, but they are unisex, and you can give your child those names regardless of their gender. But in Germany, a person's first name must clearly indicate their gender. You cannot be named after a unisex name like Sam and Alex, or naming a girl Robert or even last names, for example Müller or Sutil. Portugal, Denmark and Iceland enforce the same law as well. Incandescent light bulbs, Cuba. The all-known LED lights, which decorate much of my studio, consume 75% less than the older incandescent light bulbs, having 3 times more the lifespan. Even if replacement filament light bulbs sounds like a no-brainer, the first country to ban those bulbs was Cuba in 2005. Since then, Canada, China, Taiwan, the European Union, USA, Vietnam and Australia have joined them. But Cuba was first. Oh, and don't get confused with all those light bulbs. They have filament LEDs, which is okay to use. For now. Tobacco, Bhutan. Tobacco advertisement is banned in most Western countries since the early 2000s, and strongly informative banners are printed in all sides of tobacco products the last decade. Although it is still okay to buy tobacco, the only country in the world to ban both production and sales of tobacco products was Bhutan in 2004. Turning left on a red light, New Zealand. Unless you drive on the left side of the road, this may sound weird to you, but New Zealand, along with other countries, drive on the left. Turning left on a red light is prohibited to minimize accidents. And yes, until recently in New Zealand, you could turn left when the traffic light was red, at your own risk. This is also in effect in Texas. You can turn right when the traffic light is red, once again, at your own risk. Ketchup, France. The French government decided to limit using ketchup in cafeterias. This way, the authorities are trying to promote healthy food and traditions of the French cuisine. Cafeterias have the right to serve this sauce only with French fries and only once a week. Aside from that, schools are supposed to increase the number of vegetables on the menu and reduce the amount of fat in the food. Also in France, there are kiss-free zones at railway stations. This law is effective both in France and some stations of the UK. Lovers are prohibited from kissing at railway stations. For real, this first appeared in France in 1910, where trains were often delayed by couples who didn't want to part. So the authorities banned kissing from platforms, but still they allowed some kissing-free zones for couples to take a moment of tenderness. In Denmark, airports have the same policy of a limited time for kissing, up to 3 minutes. Yellow cloths, Malaysia. Yellow is not superstitiously wrong in Malaysia. After all, it appears on the Malaysian flag. But yellow clothes are banned. In 2016, thousands of protesters flooded the streets of Kuala Lumpur wearing yellow t-shirts and demanded the resignation of the Prime Minister for unfair elections. The Minister of Internal Affairs, though, got really angry about those protests and decided to ban yellow cloths, as if this was the cause for those protests. It may sound funny to you, but if you ever go to Malaysia, make sure you don't wear any yellow-colored clothes, because you may find yourself paying a steep fine of $1,200. Western hairstyles, Iran. A couple of years ago, the Iranian government prohibited some Western haircuts, specifically ponytails, mohawks, very jelly hairstyles, and in general long hair. The authorities even published a catalog with illustrations of haircuts you can get. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything apart from this and this. And I can't even read it. Tattoos, manicured eyebrows and shaving also became illegal because a beard is considered sacred to the Muslims. And if you don't cooperate with this law, Western hairdos can be cut off by the police. Rexopamine, Russia. To be fair with Russia, this was a very safe and rightful ban, because rexopamine has been used to reduce fat content on meat, but with harmful effects to humans. As American producers don't test for the presence of the drug in their exporting meat, Russia has banned US meat imports. Easy peasy. Advertising to children. European Union. Advertising can be annoying, but if you're a kid, you may like ads for toys. Although they're meant for you, the ads themselves appear later at night. TV ads that specifically directed at children under the age of 12 have been banned since 1991 in Sweden and later across the European Union. It is believed that children cannot differentiate between advertising and regular programming. So ads meant for kids are displayed in prime time, usually when kids are not on TV. I was watching TV that late as a kid. Valentine's Day, Saudi Arabia. Are you in love? That's perfect, because on February 14th you can express yourselves, because this is the day of those in love. In Saudi Arabia though, love is treated quite harsh. Not only banned, but also actively prevents celebration by raiding any floral arrangements, chocolates or gifts for sale in mid-February. In 2014, 5 men were sentenced to 32 years in prison and 4,500 lashes for holding a Valentine's Day party. Kinder Surprise is not banned. USA. This is not a direct ban anymore, but the famous chocolate eggs have been prohibited all around the US since the very first day of their appearance. The reason for this is that, according to US laws, it is prohibited to put toys inside food for fear of children choking on the small parts. For years, people were joking that they were smuggling Kinder Surprise from Mexico, especially when they were actually smuggling Kinder Surprise from Mexico. In 2013, though, the United States finally saw the Kinders on the shelves of their stores. The authorities allowed the eggs to be sold with the condition that there would be large toys inside made of a single part. So that's it for this week, but I assure you, there are many weird laws across the world. This is just a small portion of it. I really enjoyed myself making this video, and I hope you really enjoyed watching it as well. If you find any weirder laws that we didn't list, please indulge yourselves and let us know down in the section. I read all those comments. Thank you for being here today, and as always, thanks for watching.